Welcome to my channel, Sacred Intuition. And let's see, I did have some retreat for myself. And yeah, let's see whatever message wants to come out. And we're gonna get oh, we have a female best friend. Okay. What does that female best friend want to talk about? Whether you make something work. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see. I actually do feel guided to use the Intuit Oracle as well as runes. And let's see, it's rather a different question, okay? I do see the Celtic Knot. It was the only card that was stuck, and the Wheel of Fortune. So maybe something, and this is probably why you were asking this question, will you make it work? And this is why this advice is coming in from this female best friend. Because maybe something regarding a connection has been stuck for a lot. Yeah, look, something was tangled up. Something prevented this Wheel of Fortune to turn in its favor. Yeah, because of something that was unpredictable. Maybe there were power struggles in a dynamic. Maybe someone was, I don't know. Yeah, very elusive. I'm not getting possessive. I get very much an elusive energy here. And someone most definitely probably, yeah, isolated themselves and there was a separation. So this explains why the Will You Make It Work card came out. And we're gonna dive straight into it. Okay, so will you make it work? Coming from a female best friend. Oh, wow. Yes, I guess, well, first of all, yes. But it's about trusting your inner knowing. And to actually be fully confident, be this lone, powerful wolf and embody this. I get a very strong divine feminine energy with this for some reason. And I'm hearing your female best friend saying it is just around the corner. You just have to keep up with your stamina. You have to be resilient, trust in what you're feeling, because if you are sure that this is a divine counterpart, then you are connected and this is actually going to turn. So how is the Wheel of Fortune coming into play here? Because obviously there was karma, etc. Yeah. Ooh, wow. I feel like karma is being cut out here. And maybe this Wheel of Fortune was also stuck because something had to be released, right? And I feel like also the separation happened because it was basically like ripping off the Band-Aid. And yes, it came as a surprise, and maybe it really made you question whether this Wheel of Fortune is actually going to turn. So now, well, the question is, will you make it work? Obviously, it is someone that you already know. Otherwise, I would have been like, okay, maybe some of you obviously don't want someone from the past back. And it could be something new. Well, it could be that you haven't met your divine counterpart yet. And the question is, well, will you have like a fulfilling relationship with that person who's going to enter your life, right? So how about tangled up? What were the problems? What was the conundrum here? Or what unraveled? What was it? Almost all the cards fell, okay? Why was it so all... Oh, that's interesting. Was it the Moon card? No. Okay, that's interesting. Well, there was definitely something complicated when it came to this partnership, right? There were previous commitments, and they don't have to be in romantic nature. But those can be family ties, it could be ties to friends, it could be work obligations, right? Like it could have been a conundrum of different priorities, right? And that created like a lot of problems in this connection. Makes sense? And it kind of led to this no, let it be kind of attitude. And I feel like it came more from the masculine energy, that they were like, no, I'm detaching, right? I'm choosing silence. I want my peace. I'm like, I need to think this over. For me, it's the end. I feel like something did end here. And this is why this question, will you make it work, coming out. How about this unpredictability with the Wolverine and the elusiveness? And it's so funny, it says fearless, but I feel like fear was actually the biggest problem. I saw the clover. How about the Wolverine? Okay, the bellows. It's interesting because this elusiveness was actually also a catalyst. So probably you had to go through this karmic cycle with one another because it had to, there were certain things that were coming up for one another that had to be released. And due to the elusiveness of one, or maybe in the end it was both of you, that is quite possible, it actually led that effort was required, but it wasn't given. Like it wasn't made. So something basically, yeah, I really do feel like this unpredictability was also a catalyst for you to really find the spark within, because this is also it. I think once you are connecting to yourself, this is when this union energy is being unlocked, because divine union is taking place once you are having inner union with yourself. Yeah. And as you have that confidence, you obviously, you're shining this, you're bringing this out into the, like you're showing it to the outside, like, okay, interesting. How about the separation? Yeah, I'm telling you, this separation was like, kind of like a guiding light for the two of you. And it probably equipped both of you with the tools that you need in order to navigate this connection once it's coming back together. And will you make it work? The answer also from your female best friend would be right now, yes. If you have really done your lessons, if you learn from them, if you untangled yourself from any karmic ties, any karmic patterns that kept this connection stuck before, don't get me wrong, there is probably not a major likelihood that you can be free completely from all karmic ties before coming together with this person. And this is also not required. This is bothering me. Why there was like a thingy on it. Anyway, well, that's a little piece. I built a birdhouse here with a screwdriver. I was doing real manual work. And at first I was so upset because I know I'm jumping, but for some reason this is probably relevant. Because at first the birds didn't like the new birdhouse. And I was so upset, especially because that day it was raining like crazy and it would have given them shelter. And oh, now I know why I'm saying this. Okay. And they refused to actually eat inside of the birdhouse. And it's a beautiful birdhouse. Anyway, and instead they were sitting in the rain in the old place where they could eat from like this little plate that I have. And they were getting rained on and I felt so bad for the little birdies. Anyway, and now I'm getting it. Why this was on the separation card, this standoffish kind of, someone didn't trust the comfort of that birdhouse, the home that you wanted to provide. I feel like from you, there was like a very nurturing quality. There was a very warm energy. You were ready to put in the work, right? You were ready to kind of, putting in the effort. But someone was kind of ignorant to it, but I don't think ignorant is the right word here. It is more like the person was kind of fearful of it and they had to kind of get used to it. And I actually talked to my manager and I was like, oh, I'm so upset. My birds they're not accepting the birdhouse. And then he told me the story, and that he has like 3 different birdhouses in his backyard. And he's like, you know what? The birdhouse that has the most birds in is actually the oldest one. For some reason, the birds are so drawn to like what is familiar, and they don't like if something is too new, because then they don't trust it. They have to get used to it at first. And the good thing is, it didn't take them long. It literally the next day, I started to see that they were actually flying into the house. And it's actually so nice because they have like, well, I'm rambling on, but it is so important in this message because I feel like both of you had to go onto separate ways. And that's okay. It feels shite in that moment. I get it. Been there, done that. But in the end, it helps you how to navigate. And maybe you had to get used to a certain idea. And I feel also, especially the person that you are probably connected to, they had to get used to that idea. And maybe this person needed more time for this, okay? Probably. Yeah, but look at this. Underneath the deck is now the Wheel of Fortune with Jupiter. Expansive, optimistic, growth, benefit, luck, tolerant, gratefulness, turning point, destiny, making stable changes, goodwill, abundance. So the question is, and what is changing? The Tower energy, the standalone energy, right? Being like kind of isolated. But this person is coming out of this. This is coming in. Yeah. They're coming in out of the time alone. But it's also a time alone that was needed for you. And yes, maybe it gave you certain doubts and confusion. But this was needed, this persistence, because someone had to grow out of this. A tower had to happen for something to spring into action. And we're currently in spring season still. The answer is, will you make it work? Yes. Yeah, and we're going to leave it right here. I'm going to upload it. And until next time, take care. Bye-bye.